Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Uh, Hopefully you guys can hear me good. Hello. Hey, Arabia. You came in earlier, girl. You said, I'm home now. Good. Blessings. Now it's your time to relax. And I hope you do, you enjoy your job. You say you got a new gig. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll have to talk about that later. We're going to get started soon. Hold up. Today's been a long day. Not a bad day, though. Just a long, well, technically it's Monday for me. That's really what it's given. It's given Monday, but it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood nonetheless. Want some Mr. Rogers stuff. It feels good. What is the temperature right now? 79 degrees. It's just windy, but I can live with it. I'm comfortable. I'm content. How about that? Hold on. We're going to be talking about what it means to put your feelings in your pocket. Okay. Which we don't want to get that misconstrued with not having feelings or not being able to express those feelings, but definitely got to know when and where. When and where. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I want to do one where we kind of get like a deep dive into this. Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we can kind of bounce back and forth between the two that I found. We can do that. Hold on. Let's see. Live. Hi, Cloud Dweller. Good afternoon. All right, so we should be good. So it says to put your feelings in your pocket or put your feelings in a pocket is a phrase often used to suggest compartmentalizing your emotions, setting aside feelings like sadness, anger, or nervousness to maintain composure. And I think that's the main thing, to maintain composure. Okay? Can't just be out here losing your ish. It says it means temporarily delaying emotional responses, keyword temporarily and keyword delay. Um, it means temporarily delaying emotional responses to handle situations, work, or interactions without being overwhelmed by personal feelings. You want to be able to handle whatever comes your way without, like I said, letting whatever your feelings cloud your judgment, how you react, what you say in the moment, those type of things. Let's see. Um, gave us how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Gave us 4 different key contexts and meanings for put your feelings in your pocket. The first one is emotional management. Emotional management says it implies not letting emotions dictate actions, particularly when it might not be productive or when dealing with people who do not care. Okay. Emotional management. And we're going over key context and meanings for what it means to put your feelings in your pocket. It implies not letting emotions dictate actions, right? Particularly when it might not be productive or when dealing with people who do not care. Huh. Yeah, that could be tricky, especially on the part where it says when dealing with people who do not care. So if you're dealing with someone who doesn't care about the situation, uh, what it is they're supposed to be doing or not doing, maybe they don't care about you as an individual, which could be why they're so nonchalant or whatever. You getting yourself all worked up for what? They don't care. So not to say that you shouldn't care because they don't care, but it definitely is counterproductive to allow yourself to get all riled up over a situation or a person when they don't care. You're the only one caring. You really only can do what you can do. In most situations, we can't dictate what other people do. Then it says, particularly when it might not be productive. Really, like, why would you want to be counterproductive? Right? Why would you want to do anything that's counterproductive to what you got going on? Even if you are mad or sad or feel a type of way in the moment. You know what I mean? Trying to think of a good example. Okay, so like for example, in the workplace, right? If your boss makes you mad at work, right? Whether it's something they said, they did, whatever the case may be, but you know you still need your job. It wouldn't be wise to allow whatever those feelings are that you have going on because of your boss. It wouldn't be wise to allow that to dictate the type of job you're going to do. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. All you're going to do is just make it worse for yourself and make it easy for your boss to have something to say about you. And it definitely wouldn't be wise to just storm off. Like, oh, y'all got me messed up. I'm leaving. I've worked with people like that. Some people just don't care. They'll leave. But in reality, is that wise? No, because you need your job. Or else, why are you here? Now, that may make you feel like, okay, I need to start looking for another job. But you definitely don't do anything that can mess up your job just because you're mad or you feel a type of way or because you got passed over for a promotion. Oh, that's funny. I should have waited to use that example for the second one, but that's okay. And same with we're still talking about the emotional management. Same with when it has to do with relationships, whether that's your friends, a person you're romantically involved with, a family member. Sometimes people will do and say things to make us mad or make us sad or feel a type of way. But you don't want to just act on those emotions that you're having at that moment. And it's not always easy, but you really have to like take a step back and just chill. And if it's a conflict, you deal with that conflict, but you try your best to remove your emotions from that, because otherwise it will have you saying and doing things that you wouldn't have said or done if you weren't feeling however which way you were feeling. Okay. The second key context and meaning for putting your feelings in your pocket is professionalism. And that's why I said I should have waited, or I shouldn't have used that example for the emotional management, even though they all go hand in hand. So it's not the end of the world at all. Okay. What's up, V? I'm listening in at work. Hey, E. Good afternoon. Hey, Rachel. Good afternoon. Hey, Broham. What's up? Good afternoon. I hope y'all all are doing well. Hold on, guys. Okay. Yeah, I hope all you guys are having a good afternoon. I appreciate y'all coming. Right. So, yeah, we already went over emotional management, and hopefully, y'all were able to get what I was talking about or trying to say. And then the second one is professionalism. It is used and it is used as advice for navigating workplace challenges, because there's always going to be some type of challenge there, especially when dealing with people. Everyone's not going to be our cup of tea, and vice versa. Sometimes last minute things happen. Sometimes we walk in to some mess, and it's, you wind up having a complete different day than what you intended to have. But it says, it is used as advice for navigating workplace challenges, allowing one to shelve intense emotions to focus on professional task and growth. Okay. That's so true. That's so true, because either way, the job has to get done. The job has to get done. The show must go on. You cannot allow how you're feeling about something to affect the way you do your job, the way you do your job, the way you present yourself. Really can't. So, like, for example, if you have a small department and a couple people fall out or whatever have you, you still have to do your job to the best of your ability. Same with if someone quits or somebody is let go. You have to still do your job. You have to still do your job. And what I want to really hyper focus on when it comes to this, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to be a robot, because we're not robots, right? We're not robots. We don't got no special powers. So it's okay to feel what you feel, but you can't act on it. That's the main thing with this saying. You cannot always act on which way it is that you're feeling in that moment. And when it comes to professionalism, like that's your livelihood. That is your livelihood. Like your bread and butter, for real. Like you cannot be in there cutting up and acting out. Really can't. There's always going to be some type of challenge, some type of inconvenience. Like we live in a real world. Things are not going to always be bubblegum and ice cream. It would be nice, but that's just not realistic. It really isn't. Whatever your task is your task. It has to get done correctly too, and in a timely manner. And they're not going to care that Cheryl didn't come in today or left early or Tom is on vacation or Bill quit. None of that matters. The job is the job, is the job, is the job. Same with if you're working with somebody that you don't like or that doesn't like you. Who cares? Just do your job and go. Okay, let's see. What are y'all thoughts on what I've been talking about so far? If you have any. And do you have any issues putting your feelings in your pocket when it's time to? Or do you wear them on your sleeves regardless? Or you just stone cold and don't really have too many feelings? Or if you do, you just don't show them at all? The next key context and meaning for the phrase put your feelings in your pocket is vulnerability. Vulnerability says it can reflect a need to hide insecurities or intense affection, to avoid feeling exposed, or to keep oneself safe in a relationship. Hmm. Hmm. For putting your feelings in your pocket, vulnerability. It can reflect a need to hide insecurities or intense affection, to avoid feeling exposed, or to keep oneself safe in a relationship. Trying to figure out how putting your feelings in your pocket can reflect a need to hide insecurities or intense affection, to avoid feeling exposed. So I don't really think you're supposed to really pocket your feelings when it comes to your partner. Now I do agree if things are needed in the moment, I do agree with taking a step back and then circling back at a later time. Things in spots. But as far as pocketing your feelings to hide insecurities or intense affection, to avoid feeling exposed, is crazy to me, because you can't talk to whoever your partner is about what you're feeling or whatever insecurities you have, then who can you talk to about that? So that kind of throws me. That kind of throws me a little bit. Right, Rachel? I don't know. That kind of throws me. Can't hold you. That part. Now, maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you have a partner that has multiple friends of the opposite sex, that might make you feel uncomfortable if they speak to them heavy or hang out with them heavy or something like that. That may be an insecurity you have, but you just don't feel the desire to share it with your partner. Maybe you may be worried about how it may have you come off. I'm not sure. What else? Trying to think of examples of how that could be the case. Uh, to hide insecurities or intense affection. Why would you want to? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if you're the type that comes off strong and heavy, you may want to pocket some of that. You don't want to scare the person. I don't know. Don't go off. I don't know. Kind of stuck with that one, guys. Can't hold you. Can't hold you. Hmm. What do y'all think about that part that I just read? Maybe if your partner is a public figure, it gets a lot of attention. I could see that, Rachel. I could see that. Oh, it got me stuck for a loop. I don't know. Because I just honestly don't feel the need. I don't really feel the need. Put your feelings in the pocket when it comes to your partner. Unless, like I said, while are in the thick of things and it's getting a little heated or whatever. So you may not want to really dive deep in that moment. Because folks just need to calm down, chill out a bit. And then, like I said, you should always have the ability to circle back on something. Because otherwise, are they really your partner? At least to me, in my opinion. Stuck on that one. And then I'm also stuck on the intense affection too. To avoid feeling exposed or to keep oneself safe in a relationship. Now, in regards to what we're talking about, that one got me stuck. And then the last key context and meaning they gave us is when it comes to music, which I'm not sure why they listed that. Excuse me, but whatever. It says, okay, they're just talking about the phrase. It says that the phrase appears in the song Pocket by Rag and Bone Man. I don't even know who that is. Rag and Bone Man, where it implies a desire to be kept close, safe, and protected by someone else. Someone has you in a pocket. So those were the key contexts and meanings for the phrase put your feelings in your pocket. We already went over the definition. I'm really stuck on this vulnerability one. So if you guys have any thoughts about that, I wouldn't mind you sharing them. And then it says usage in daily life. It gives us two. Says it is often phrased as get in your bag, suggesting moving past temporary feelings to focus on personal goals or indifference toward others' opinions. Which I think we all have heard that before, that phrase. to get in your bag or someone's in their bag, which I think that could have a couple different meanings to keep it a bean. But in this context, it says it is often phrased as get in your bag, suggesting moving past temporary feelings to focus on personal goals or indifference towards others' opinions. I like that one. And I guess I can equate that to when you guys hear me say the show must go on because it must. Or if I say something is small stuff to a giant because it is. And then the second usage in daily life that they gave us says, it serves as a reminder that not every emotional wave needs to be acted upon immediately and can be managed by giving it space to subside later. Oh, I like this. I'm going to put this in the chat. That's the key. That's the key message from this whole live. When we're talking about putting your feelings in your pocket, it serves as a reminder that not every emotional wave needs to be acted upon immediately and can be managed by giving it space to subside, meaning calm down, subside, calm down later. Okay, I like that. And shoot, and we'll also say, not every action needs a reaction. Even though cause and effect is a real thing and actions do have reactions and they also come with consequences. But some things should just be paid dust too, you know? Some things don't need a reaction at all. Some don't need a reaction in the moment. I like this. It serves as a reminder that not every emotional wave needs to be acted upon immediately and can be managed by giving it space to subside later. Yeah, I like that message. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, let's see. V, see, you are really going to make me think on this. You said facts. Yeah, I've had to think on this. And it's crazy, Rachel, because I did a live about this exact topic a while back. Geesh, I deleted it. When did I do this live? Jeez Louise. CP3, are you still here? Or did you dip on your sis? Because you were in that live. I just don't remember how long ago. But it was definitely one of the ones that I wanted to circle back on. I think he left. Dagnabbit. Always dipping out on me. If imperfection knew perfection, we wouldn't have imperfection. Exactly. And really, when it comes to something being perfect or imperfect, it's all suggestive. Because we could look at or see or hear something that we can think is hot garbage, right? But to somebody else, that could be the hottest thing since sliced bread. It's all suggestive. You know? All right, let's see. Look at this other window. I like this. And that vulnerability one really gets me, Rachel. I'm gonna have to reflect on that one. On my own time, I'm gonna have to be on my Patti LaBelle. On my own. 'Cause that one got me thinking, huh, what do you mean? And even though we already went over these, I like this other page that I found too. It says, depending on the context, it carries several different meanings to put your feelings in your pocket. All right, this one it says emotional resilience and focus, which, like I said, we already touched on this. I want to say it's just different wording, but so be it. Emotional resilience and focus. In professional or high stakes environments, it means setting aside personal feelings or hurt to get a job done. Because, it needs to get done regardless. And then if you need to circle back and ask to have a meeting or ask to have something addressed, then so be it, but get it done. It's a call to realize that certain people may not care about your emotions and to focus on your goals instead. And that's just real talk. Most jobs do not care. They really don't. They don't care about your plight. They don't care about none of that. You are hired to do a job. They expect that job to get done properly the same way you expect to get paid all your money when it's time to get paid. It just is what it is. And if you get blessed with a job that actually cares about you as an individual, care about your plight and everything that goes with that, that's a blessing and you should be very appreciative. Because that's something like I said, that's a blessing. It's not a given. And you must know these things. Self-protection. Excuse me. It can be a defensive mechanism to avoid being hurt by others. I guess you just sit there and just always have a poker face. By pocketing feelings, one might try to stay intact and avoid falling into the quote unquote traps of people who might let them down. We talked about that before because that's just something that is inevitable. People are going to let you down or disappoint you or whatever have you. That's just something that is inevitable. And I want to say we touched on something like that last week when we were doing our real life series. We definitely touched on that. We touched on that previously as well. Okay, let's see. Let me see if you guys said anything. People confuse sensitivity with emotions. That is true. That is very true. And what I've noticed, Rachel, through lived experiences, people, I don't know if the correct word, I don't want to say sympathy. I really want to say empathy because they just can't, some people just really can't compute or understand like how somebody could feel a type of way about something just because they wouldn't or don't feel that type of way about something. So some people have an issue with grasping and understanding that, even if that they don't take on that emotion, you know, but they can't grasp or understand and sometimes even respect how somebody feels about something because in their mind, and how their mind is wired. They would never feel that way. So they can't understand it, if that makes sense. You also have people who are a little more hardened than other people. So they definitely wouldn't understand someone who is not as hardened when it comes to emotions and feelings. The third one, which we're just going over the different meanings that this saying can or phrase can have. It says emotional management tools in educational or therapeutic settings. A quote unquote feelings pocket is a literal tool. Products like pocket charts help children identify, label, and share their emotions in a structured way. I love that, both for adults and children. I love that. What in the world? Okay, Spider, you're not making it home for dinner. Sorry. All right, the last one. Internal strength. Hold on, because I think my alarm's about to go off. I don't want it to scare me. Bink. Let's turn you off. What time did I clock out? Oh, I got time. I got time, honey. A little bit. Hold on. Let's set another alarm. Ha ha ha. Okay. The last one, it is internal strength. Some use the metaphor to describe carrying love or positive emotions deep within, such as tucking love away in the soul to carry it wherever they go. Oh, that's cute. That's funny. That's cute. Mainly if you are in a situation to where you or your partner may be in the military, or they may have a job or a career that requires them to travel. So that's cute. I like that. I'm just checking out what this other site that I found had to offer us. And sorry if it's repetitive because we already went over some of it. It's just the wording is different. Words matter. Okay, let's see. They gave us some alternatives to pocketing feelings, right? While pocketing can be a useful short-term tactic, experts often suggest more sustainable ways to manage emotions. I like this. I like this. All right, so they gave us three. The feelings wheel, a tool to accurately label emotions, which can make you feel more in control and less reactive. Okay, because they're your emotions. You want to have full autonomy over them. You don't really want to allow people and situations to sway how it is you're going to be coming. That's wild. It's not always easy, but you should never want that. The second one, it says mind body connection. Instead of stuffing feelings away, noticing where you feel them in your body can help you process and learn from them. I can see how there can be a mind body connection because stress is a killer, but I would have to dig deep into that. Stress is definitely a killer. It can definitely cause long-term health issues for you, for sure. Instead of stuffing feelings away, noticing where you feel them in your body can help you process and learn from them. I dig that. And the only time I can honestly say that I have ever even touched on that is when I do guided meditation. So I like to meditate a lot and reflect. And when I do guided meditation, depending on the type, it does have you really laser in on your body. It's crazy. I like this. And this last one, it says neuroscience based shifts. What? Neuroscience based shifts. Understanding that feelings drive actions allows you to consciously change your internal dialogue to rewire how you feel. Oh yeah, I just call that like checking yourself. I love this because I definitely push for you to be in tuned and self-aware with what you got going on. Neuroscience based shifts. Okay. Understanding that feelings drive actions allows you to consciously, on purpose, change your internal dialogue to rewire how you feel. And who was it? Had it been alive? Was it in our real life series where we were discussing the type of self-talk that we engage in with ourselves? That's crazy. That's so crazy. Hold on. We touched on this for sure. Chun, 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 mhm. I forget though. He definitely touched on this, and I definitely try to share different things to my wall to remind you all and myself to just be kind to ourselves, be kind to our minds. I love that. Hold up, guys. You said yes when I get a migraine. You do guided meditation, Rachel, when you have a migraine? Is that what you were saying? I love that. I think I'm gonna put this in the chat as well. Because a lot of times, and I forget what video or live it was that we touched on this, but the type of self-talk we engage in with ourselves matters. Now, you always want to keep it a beat. You don't want to dilute yourself, um, or be delusional about what you got going on. But you definitely don't want to beat yourself up and be on some negative bull crap. We already live in a cold world. So, all right, let's put this in here. Message. Let me read it again. Understanding that feelings drive actions allows you to consciously change your internal dialogue to rewire how you feel. So sometimes it's hard to block out the white noise, stress. Yeah, it really is. And I also had talked about previously about when you are sitting with yourself and you're able to just meditate or reflect, how easy it is for certain feelings, negative feelings or emotions or thoughts to try to creep their way in. And it is hard to like give them the boot, like, nah, we're not doing this, you know? And then sometimes you got to just let them in. You don't need to give them the boot. You need to let them in and then just address it head on. And then once you're done addressing it and figuring out, what you need to do with it, then you give it the boot. It's weird. Weird. Hold on. But I do enjoy guided meditation. Sometimes it's just tricky finding the right one for me because sometimes the voice just be off. It's either the voice might be off, which throws me, or they got some type of weird behind music I can do without in the background. But when I can find good ones, forget about it. And they have some really good ones for while you're showering too. I enjoy them as well. Hello to anybody that is just coming in or who has just been chilling. Everyone able to get something out of this. That's always the goal. We don't just do this just to do it. If I wanted to talk just to talk, we would just be having our regular talks. And even those are not for no reason. Always hope that somebody can get something out of this. And like I always say, even if it doesn't necessarily apply to you and what you got going on, each one teach one. It might apply to somebody that you have in your life, somebody that may come into your life who hasn't come into your life yet. Or it might apply in the future, depending on what you got going on. Because we don't get to dictate those things now, do we? Hey, Mika. Hey, Miss V, I'm in the bushes. Hey, girl. How are you doing? Well, I hope. Let me see if they give us anything else to touch on. Pretty much covered all of which I wanted to cover when it comes to this topic, even though there's always more. Just don't have the time. Oh, yeah. And I always encourage y'all to do your own research as well. Trust but verify. Duh. Or, like Rachel said, what did you say, Rachel? You're a little intrigued. Let me see. Said, VC, you are really going to make me think on this. Yeah. So if it's something that kind of catches your attention and you're intrigued by it, I definitely encourage to do more research because you may find something that I didn't go over. And why not, right? It's always something to be learned. You say you're on your way to work. I hope you have a good night at work and everybody stays in their own little lane. For sure. You see. Yeah, I think I went over. And even if some things seem like we were reiterating, it's okay. That is A-okay to me. I'm about to get out of here. And I really appreciate you guys coming, and I really appreciate you guys engaging with me and participating. And I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. And I'll catch y'all later. Thank you. Bye.